Today, inside this edition of the program, as we tell una, we get for talk to the Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs, where they can tell you the role with the ministry they play for national development. At this time, inside the program, I want to welcome the Minister of Local Government, where they can tell you the role of a ministry for national development. Tambalamina, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, up to you, and good morning to Sierra Leoneans.
We also get with John Cocker, we are the Executive Director for Family Talk Salon. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, listeners.
Okay, we start with the Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs. As this ministry get different mandate for oversee and make sure say then do policy administration and oversight of city council, chiefdom council and provisional offices them. How the ministry don't they work within different council here for make sure say they live up to the mandate in terms of national development and changes and developments where they happen. The reason to make we get the minister na the office. So Mr. Minister, we know say the ministry na the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, but we see a transition inside the year of a name change to Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development to the Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs. Waiting prompt this change of name.
Well, thank you very much, Subtu. His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Madabio, and Cabinet about a year and a half ago, being considered say a very important because of the areas that the ministry they cover, particularly the regions, western area, and all the councils that are all over the country. For say very important for the mandate be expanded so that it will involve communities as well. And the ministry in naming it for change at that time from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development to Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs. So community issues relating to councils, because the councils then get wide coverage over communities as well. The chiefdoms they get a wide coverage over the chiefdoms and communities and at the inside and also the provincial offices. Then they all over, in fact now we call them the regions. All the regions that are the country outside and get them resident ministers them. And also what's very important on this is that we also work with them tribal heads or them village heads as well, Freetown. So mainly we feel and say very, very important for the community development and community issues be part of the mandate of the ministry, mainly because the ministry is a vehicle for transformation, for development, and for make sure say things that go before, especially working closely with central government for make sure say the president's vision is achieved.
So in terms of this change of name, is it that it make on a mandate add more or anything extract from on a mandate?
Well, it make them clearer. I believe say make them clearer, mainly just like I say, rural development, now communities they engage as well. But when you make them very specific, say community affairs, they deal with people, and the people then they work with their leadership, then at the local communities, for make sure say development can at the area then they. So it was quite a wise decision.
All right, as you don't tell listeners them about your mandate and waiting so far when I don't do from we didn't change the ministry name to community affairs. Waiting so far don't they happen at the ministry in terms of development?
Well, they're not changing the ministry name to community affairs. They just make it clear. The Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs. You see, local governance now a critical backbone for development in this country. Of course, we get the central government, then we get local governance. Then the local government people that we do, then they're in twofold. We get the one that win at the councillors, the leadership of the local councils, but also you get core staff where they work at the council and we get 22 councils in the country, and then 22 councils then they then get mandate. Government, we don't think say in 2004, say then get so much responsibility, a fine for let the local people themselves participate in decision making about their own welfare and about their own development at their localities. So as a result of that, consider say very, very important for the Ministry of Local Government for be in that stage where in the engagement they will continue, but also for push central government in business go before. Everything what they do with the midterm national development plan, especially at the locality level, we they participate very highly, and we they as the vehicle, just like I say, for make sure students in the day then will be achieved. His Excellency will come, of course, not before this change, up to now. We don't see say, a lot of things that don't happen on the inside, and in fact we'll be in a campaign 2023. We go all around this country, almost all the chiefdoms in this country. It will interest you the narratives that will be in a camp in terms of the development the way in the localities, and whether I go do with water, whether I go do with electricity, the chiefdoms, whether I go do with feeder roads, whether I go do with agriculture, and all that things. The councils they're involved and the chiefdoms themselves involved. So it just feel like say the operational vehicle for development at the localities, really at the Ministry of Local Government and the entities that we would work with, and then they will overlook them and make sure say that they happen at the localities. And beyond that, I also want to say we don't get a lot of engagement with partners there as well. Development partners, we don't come and put money into the country. Now some critical councils where it don't make, we don't get a lot of development at the side, and I will highlight some of them development in Abo, Napujong, Kenema, Bombali, Kambia, Falaba, and Karine, where we get massive infrastructural development the way don't happen at the inside, and the way the people then they realize them, and for service delivery to them people then in other localities then they.
All right, 22 council now in the ministry they supervise. From the time you take office under your leadership, are you go assess them 22 council here, then work in terms of service delivery to people not in different constituency?
Well, what I will go for say is that local governance and decentralization have been one of the best things that any way happen to this country. Clearly, when all power is centered at the center, they all go well for people the way they, especially to the far to reach areas. We believe say then to councils then they work. In fact, they have been established. The structures then they, the infrastructures then they are intact, and then they deliver on services in other areas then they in the various 22 communities who then council then they. And we believe say whether it comes to education, we get things that we call devolved functions. Them functions then they now functions where government don't peel off, whether not education, whether not health, primary health care, secondary health care, water, feeder roads, sports, social welfare. Then they move them the money, then they transfer direct money to the local government entity, and they engage with the divorce sectors for let them make sure say the things that we don't plan, the priorities that we don't get at the area for let them able to achieve them. So just like I say, local governance now the vehicle where they work with central government at the local level for make sure say the services they will need for deliver now their localities then they then be delivered. And I believe say the work they go on. However, one of the things that we will not be able to achieve it now, how we will actually assess them councils then, so that we will determine as to which one they do well, which one they do well, and which kind of support them will actually get. We need to get the kind of empirical evidence where we go one forget so that we will support them in any. Okay. We're not been able to do that, but we just don't complete that process there now. About a month and a half ago, we complete the process of assessing all the local councils, and then they work on that now for let them provide with the data. We go speak to the issues of how councils they actually perform based on the thing and they will set up inside the assessment tool. And I believe so that they will be very good, and not to for name and shame any council, but now for that we know exactly whose position and they in terms of their performance, in terms of delivery, and after that the kind of support they will need so that we will focus that kind of support to them.
So Mr. Minister, once you don't see don't they happen so far na transfer of cost staff of local council, we take keep prompt then decision in the from the ministry together with other aides and where they work with.
Well, when they recruit staff then for work for local government, then they sign up to the fact say there could be movement from one place to the other. And the reason for that mainly is that we get some side and it's very difficult for letting get the workforce for letting actually be willing for go work there. And again, based on the assessment we make by councils then and the work where the staff then they do, the local government service commission, when I'm responsible for HR issues in local councils, then can actually look and say, well, it is time for us to move people then from one place to the other for strengthening councils and their work based on the kind of capacity where then councils then they actually exhibit. Say this person will be necessary for this person go help now this other area. So it is not strange. That way don't they happen for quite a long time. I know say nobody know one for move from one side for go to the other side. But this na service to the nation.
So what about Chamot can they between maybe the CA or maybe the mayor of a particular council and all of that? We don't see certain disagreement. We don't be with the main Freetown City Council with the CA where they know they see one side. That can lead to the reason in the
well, not necessarily. I think say when you get relationship issues, I believe say the best thing for do now for try for address the issue. Identify what they actually cause the issues, then where they cause the disagreement, and when I work on that, either through the sort of appraisal system and for monitor that stuff they how they work. But clearly, dysfunctional relationships are not strange in working environments. But waiting we for try for do now for identify and try for deal with her. And so far, I believe say we don't deal with them. Wherever they occur, we can try for bring harmony another entity there, and when the 10 come, if we feel say very impossible for learning two people then they work, then we can the local government service commission can do what they need for do. These are experts. If I'm not a angry person, when we say the local government service commission and the posting committee, now very experienced people them. Now then they work now then committee then they get representation from WIO ministry when are the permanent secretary, you get HRMO, you get the civil service, so you get a range of people. We actually decide very experienced civil servants and public servants where they actually decide and make their decision and they. But we think he actually bring the Chamot now because people don't know one for move, and I believe say myself if then continue they happen, myself will feel the same. But naturally, and because of work and because of the services we get for deliver at them place, then they have to say very necessary for we move people then once in a while.
Alright, still get for do with people we know they see one side over the past year, people don't they allege say the mayor of the Freetown City Council we na an opposition not they see one side with the ministry just for making things clear.
Well, you see, I think say people that can belittle the issues. Clearly, we are very experienced and professional people as well. I feel say not generally people that can just like for hype the situation and all that kind of thing. And from when we done the as minister of this ministry, I've had a very professional relationship with almost everybody when I come across. But within the mandate where government gave me for our operate within, if you're not doing things that are, if you're doing things that are not within the mandate or within the scope, what would they expect? They will call you to line and in line for let you try for do the things that were necessary. I feel so we don't get one or two of those kind of occasions, and they will not be very pleasant for Freetown City Council, but at the end of the day, we get work for do, and the work really now for serve the people that are in this country, and for make sure say we move government and the people and business go before.
The Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs, Tambalamina, and same way so inside the program we get John Cocker, we are the Executive Director for Fambu Talk. Good morning once more, welcome to Radio Democracy.
Thank you for having me.
It is small.
Yes, we really don't take small.
It's you know one of the civil society them we on the work now different community there in terms of peace and other things them. How you go assess the ministry in work so far?
Now, work in progress. I would tell you, say, the ministry, they work with several partners and several departments. If one of they function well, they affect the others. But overall, I think the leadership in the ministry gets in sense of direction, what they want. The team, they work well. Some councils, they work well. Some not, they work well. And I think above all, it gets to do with the linkages from the village to the section to the chiefdom to the district. But again, as I say, now work in progress. So far, there has been some improvement. There has been few lapses, but it's good.
All right, you don't work now different community them across the country. What are some of the key issues them with some of them community then can get in with maybe the tribal headman them and other issues them?
The Chieftaincy Act of 2009, and I think now don't get a revised Local Government Act, but the two not be the talk together. They're not talk in one. I remember in some districts the role of the chairman and the role of the DO, sometimes it can be conflicting. So like one meeting, we almost see with DO and chairman, they almost go into blows, fighting for who is the first gentleman. But I think that's a thing of the past. The last year so far will not get any situation like that. But the appointment of the headman there, the appointment of the section chief, the composition of the chiefdom council, it can be better. And like the chiefdom councils, mostly they're new chiefdoms then, and the mining chiefdoms then, then rich chiefdoms. You go see, say the paramount chief, they handpick the people and way able to work with, and that go affect the process. So if you talk of development, they act clear about the composition of the chiefdom council, and the process also clear. But the challenge is, how for implement the act. Now 190 chiefdoms. So some go argue, say it got to do with capacity. But overall, it's work in progress. And I just want to say this to the Honorable Minister and hopefully the President and the Vice President and all other government officials, that if Sierra Leone for move to the next level, the local governments get a huge role for play. Because if you check the population beyond Jue, you get the bulk of Sierra Leoneans there. And in some cases beyond like Makini town, beyond Kabbalah town, you go inside the village and beyond Bo town, somehow some people in the field disconnected. And I think the challenge is how the Minister of Local Government will find ways for make we all, small village, big village, section, town, district, make we all feel as part of the national process. So, it can be done better, but I think so far it's work in progress.
So in terms of saying the people that they feel disconnected, is it that in that area, which exactly did they expect from the ministry? Is it a meeting with the minister, like for to get a community engagement where the need arise, or what exactly now the young form of disconnection?
Well, it got to do with two things. One, consultations for the input on national issues.
Okay.
Most times within a free town, we decide for the rest of the country. Which is, in some cases, yes, now they say policymakers then they. But it's also good for when we start Fambu Talk 2007, after the war done 2000, when we go to one village, we get a consultation, we ask the woman, the one reconcile. The woman take a deep breath. He said, nobody not ever ask me if we want reconcile. Now, una don't ask me, yes, we want reconcile. So sometimes it gives the ownership to the people when you consult with them. It not necessarily mean to say you go take what they say, but you go add value to what you want to do. You go consider the young perspective. So basically, the consultation is one. The town hall meetings, I mean, two ministers will get it, the minister and deputy minister. They're not going to go everywhere. But I think say we will find ways and means for make the ministry, the councils then try to reach out to the people. Like in Kono, the chairman of Kono, I mean, I was impressed. We get a meeting in one village, like 3 hours out of Kwedu, on Inyo vehicle, a good day. And what I find very interesting is when he reached there, he was not a stranger. The people know him and they able to interact with him. So you need that type of people and they will connect with the people, where they see as somebody where they can approach. But I don't know how the minister go down. I don't know how the ministry go down. But I think now work in progress. I would like for you how he intend for do that.
Okay, over to you, Mr. Minister. Like how it don't end for say, it go like for you, I go make this approach for make sure that the people feel part of the process. People take ownership of their own national issues and development. You can respond to that quickly.
Well, let's set the context. I think John mentioned the Chieftaincy Act and the Local Government Act, when are the umbrella acts for local governance. We also mentioned the Chieftaincy Act and talk about the issues of the disconnect between functional relationships, entities, and conflicts in roles and all that kind of thing. I just want for assure John say, since we review the Local Government Act in Parliament passed in 2022, which we don't strive for, and I follow improved relationships and to a very large extent we see that improvement that take place, wherein the chairman or the mayor then they work very well with the district officers, the provincial team, and the localities. So just like what you say, that have been thing of the past, wherein they will set blue for themselves. I think so everybody understand the role because the act don't clarify that very well. I just want to make another correction as well. Say the appointment is the appointment of headmandem. Headmandem na Freetown, the village heads in particular. Now vote, then they vote for them. So somebody contests and people then vote for him for let he actually win. Yes, I believe say the capacity issues are abound. We still get issues with capacity, but we did try to develop that as much as we did go on. For now we reach them far to reach areas, now a challenge, because them places and they need motorability. Sometimes the challenge then they councils the not get motor car. The chairman themselves sometimes they not even get motor car for reach them side and they. But the one that we get the access, then they move as far as possible in order for let them engage them people them. Issues of consultation. His Excellency the President in government, I feel say lay premium on consultation, and there has been no decisions taken in Freetown here where they affect the people their lives, where it not be for say the stakeholders, critical partners, the way necessary for let them do that, where they know they engage them. Where sometimes they do it regionally, sometimes they do it at district level, and also inside the western area, that consultation they take place so that people then will add them voices to the kind of changes the way they take place in the country. Yes, John hit the nail on the head, say local government a very, very critical area for play a very major role in national development, especially now they talk about the 5 big game changers in the country. His Excellency in flagship. We talk about feed salon. Who side and get for feed salon? Obviously, the people that are within the localities that they get for engage in agriculture and the necessary support coming from central government for let them people then they do the sort of farming we actually need for let try for feed yourself. If you talk about youth employment, the bulk of them and they done at the localities. In terms of empowering them and then the government they strive for so hard for create the opportunities and the space so that the youths then will be employed in their localities then they. So we are coming a long way. But one thing just like I mentioned is that the Chieftaincy Act which John mentioned, the ministry now get the position say it actually need for be reviewed, and that now will put premium on Nandi for let it come in tandem with all the other laws then, because they talk about chiefdom councils, especially the representation of women in their councils, then they or some of their structures, then they is currently they meet the requirements we don't set out in the Giwe Act. So that particular act they need for be reviewed. Sorry.
So Minister, before you end, you talk about a man election and all that thing. So I want to take you through about a point where you make, where you say in our vote, people at the vote, no form of interference. The one get for do with the region situation. We'll be see they get a woman, they win at the 8 woman, but interference can because of belonging to a political party. Are you the explaining here so the reality there on the ground for let the ministry give space to community people for take ownership and their own self decision?
Thank you very much. As far as me concerned, any issues that we communities raise, especially in terms of grievance or dissatisfaction with waiting to happen, we'll get out of the ministry, we'll try for look into them, we'll try for resolve them. We don't get a lot of the issues then we don't try for resolve. If we can even remember side conflicts them in the chiefdoms and various sides, they will try for resolve them for let people then they in harmony.
But the issue don't be of interference of the ministry taking it and at this day okay for work with one at this and go one at this certain position, even though I not get right for interfere.
Well, me not get any memory of that, and me not don't get anybody any instruction for let go interfere by anything.
But you said no one interfere on anything?
Not at all. That is not my not to the way that they operate, not to the way that they function. They function very professionally and within the mandate way that they provide for me. We the act provide for me or the constitution. I believe say naturally when elections then take place, Nasai, the one then we can be dissatisfied or we not actually win. They can try to get various ways then for come back at the one that we win. And the local governance is not an exception to that, to the rule. With the gather experiences then they, but as far as me concerned, anytime we will get them complaints and they way before say there's interference here or there, we don't try to address the issue. In fact, we get a track record since I don't know at the ministry for law, we cancel processes where don't they take place, wherein we feel say people don't express severe dissatisfaction. For law, we go according to the rules, and we've done that all the time. And that make me very proud for actually say even in conducting chieftaincy elections, we don't conduct up to 50 chieftaincy elections who are done at this office. And one day we know you say motorman, something happened to this motorman or that. You will get arguments, but it don't run very, very peacefully for elect them people then they. So we will continue for accept say yes. We are not perfect in any way in what we do. But clearly we believe say we're on the right track for ensure say the president in vision realized, because at the end of the day it's about peace and harmony, stability in those communities as we go on, so that development will take place in them communities.
Alright, quick one before we look at another serious issue where you get for can address, but quick one, Mr. Minister, Freetown suppose forget chief, especially around the main city. Because the reason why I ask, me tap around Wilkinson Road. You get people, we get chief around that area there. Where at times, problem in the community people go to the chief. Some man go tell you, say, I know they go to chief. You're not Freetown. We're not supposed to forget chief. For make things clear, Freetown supposed to forget chief.
Well, Freetown get a tribal head man then. We got tribal head man then. I think we got up to 16 tribal heads. They're all in various positions. And the reason for that mainly is then they help communities then for come together. And obviously we'll go for look at the negative side of things, especially for mobilizing people when it comes to development agenda and all that kind of thing. And they, if we only concentrate on what's saying for palaver business, then we will get issues. But one thing I want to make very clear is that we say somebody they come for can say when I get conflict in the area, then bring and can to the chief within the area. We they against extorting monies from people.
They're not supposed to fine people, right?
Well, that is completely not something that is acceptable. Now for try for make peace na them communities then they the chiefs that within the tribal heads that within Freetown, of course, they also decentralize the entities so that people that go operate in a different side and follow the help government. But clearly that issue though they say people that they extort all that kind of thing, and then a ministry completely there against, and we they ask all the tribal headman them for let them talk to them people and say no. That is not something that is very acceptable to the ministry.
So let's take you a bit back. You talk about chieftaincy election we another all, but still we get some chiefdom then with the vacants. Waiting they happen to the one and the delay.
Well, it's up to the delay now because I'm not gonna call it delay because there is a mixture. Okay, a mixture of some of them we don't take, we don't know ready yet. When we say ready, the kind of strategy we will not develop, we work with the communities and the chiefdoms, get them into say state of readiness before we put them on timetable for elections. Some communities then they immediately then feel no more say activities that don't begin go on at the community, they go begin make palaver. So the one and then you need for start for engage them, for let them try for understand say now one great person will become chief. But more than that also, we don't get a lot of paramount chiefs then as well. We've been there in position where them in don't go meet the maker. And where that happen, the vacancy they occur as well. So just like I tell you, say we don't conduct up to 50 since I don't dinner this ministry. We still get up to 30 for conduct. Okay. We would work with. But we on rule now for make sure say there is readiness and we conduct peaceful elections alongside with ECSL and the other entities that we would work with. So far, I believe say they do quite a good work on their side and the kind of feedback we get from the people that are the communities is something that we're able for write home about.
Continue for the with Malamina. Inside the program Good Morning Salo, they look at another issue. Say some people in Nabriwa Chiefdom, na Bombali district on the 9th say they not sign the letter where some people write to the Minister of Local Government say then divide the chiefdom. Then people are talk this inside one interview to Radio Democracy. Also them the 9th say they're not a part of the section them. We say them for separate this particular chiefdom when Briwa. But for more this issue, let we listen to Mange Mansare.
Briwa Chiefdom, then a Bombali district, and this chiefdom don't exist for over 200 years. Briwa Chiefdom get 9 sections. Out of the 9 sections, 7.5 sections na Limba people they live there, whilst 1.5 na Madingo people they occupy them. This being term, some people write to the Minister of Local Government say 4 sections out of the 9 sections them, where then they na Briwa Chiefdom want their own chiefdom. Where then chiefdom they are, where they name na the letter, carrying a section, when a section where predominantly get Madingo them. Balandugu section where get half Madingo and half Limba them, and Kasankori section where purely get Limba people them, and Karasa section where purely get Limba people them. Now for sake of this letter, where then people have the right to the Minister of Local Government make Radio Democracy being gonna be our chiefdom for go investigate this issue. Outside 3 of them sections they are say this letter where the 4 sections them writes to the Minister of Local Government, they not be aware of them. But first, I've been talking to the youth leader na Briwa Chiefdom, Lamin Trawali, where he begin for describe the Briwa Chiefdom, the village and sections them. Where then they na this chiefdom?
When I want for make Briwa Chiefdom, inside Bombali, this is presently the largest chiefdom. 300 villages. Out of them 300 villages, then the Madingo section between Balandugu and Karena and get 27 villages. Karena gets 17 villages. Balandugu gets 11 villages. Some are up to 28. So it's not possible for let them divide the chiefdom with 28 villages, get 300 villages. And the mistake where they happen, they feel for realize say where them being make the chiefdom very, very interesting. For there you see any village, they pass 1-2 village before you meet Manigo village. And then they center there. In order to be knowledge as chiefdom leader, in order to the knowledge of the Chiefdom Youth Council, in order to the knowledge of the section youth leaders, they all on the Chiefdom because I always get in touch with them. Anything that happen, then they consult and talk to me.
Lamin Tali continues to say, he as the youth leader and other youth leaders in the section, not be aware of this letter as he say they don't do their own investigation where make it say them forge people and signature for divide Briwa Chiefdom.
So they do this thing, a smuggle for doing with pretense for make like say people and deal with them. We don't investigate. There is nothing we go prove say them people they are then get meeting with people there. They just go falsify. There we Briwa don't day for the past 100 to 200 years. It's peaceful. Let people not come make political division day. And this particular thing, it don't become a very serious concern. So they ask the government, they ask all authorities concerned, make them come in for make sure say, Briwa Chiefdom, be peaceful, and we don't ever get anybody we don't cow that doesn't even divide the Chiefdom. The Chiefdom not amalgamated, so how they can divide them? How they can divide them? We get 4 ruling house na Briwa. We get the Kalawa house na Kamabai, we get the Shekutu house na Kamabai. We get the Kalawa house na Bumba, we get the Popoli house na Bumba. So they can't believe for divide this thing. So let them left them here and make the people before this time they get sense. They think say they want to Upambul and brother. So the best you can do, not give the section. Let me see them give Karina section and give Balanogu section.
PC Alimami Mana Kalawa III, now the paramount chief for Briwa Chiefdom, explain about the palaver, the limbas and the badingos them. How them don't give ruling na one commissions of inquiry.
We them say ufogu na commission of inquiry we take a very long time and we did done that matter in 3 months. For say the limbade na they get a land and they get a chiefdom. We started from Suluku and just because Suluku in daughter they go marry them. And we know say they did not be even born they became them. But they use them political influence to try to take we own rights to them. And now that be the reason if you go to inquiry, then lost the case. Well, me, I don't get a problem with that deal because I don't unite everybody. I think me and then will be the meet step. I go there, I go carry now, I eat there, I drink there, they knock tablet for me for respect my presence. And that's not me been there on. You know, and then they just use that blame. They say, oh, somebody give me power. When I'm in school, man, they'll just take it from them. They fail for realizing we had an inquiry. We'll go through for 3 months. When they lost that case.
PC Alimami Mana Kalawa III continue say, you're not aware of the letter where they write to the Minister of Local Government.
Well, no, and the government no can inside that because me I trust Mother be on a chief picking. You know, say, you know, go divide the chiefdom. We know amalgamate. It's not possible for let government look no more for that side because we not divided before. If we've been divided before, then for don't the amalgamate we long time. But Briwa Kaso Suluku left. And Suluku was the only diplomat even the Europeans they recognize and say he maintained the chiefdom. And what if we meet now they carry on to the next generation yet unborn. So for say we go marginalize anybody for lay they can't divide the chiefdom just because carrying a one for divider. Now that make the Sequia headquarters when the Balangu headquarters they invited me for tell me say they know they would carry now. So let us stop what they go and do so from forgeries. Write people the signatories and sign out on behalf of the person we know they call meetings then and chiefdom without me knowledge.
After I've been on talk to the paramount chief and the chiefdom youth leader, I've been talk to the people them where them say they sign this document that this them get for see.
I name Yarime Conche, Namina the section you see that Okasankori section. I know we have no documents. From one day them begin for call meeting for this. Lele they get lele. No, we have done the past day serve now. Somebody call me. Oh, na mintoma. Oh, they na ka one youth leader na ka rakana na inform me for this meeting this afternoon. By then 11 o'clock we see them meeting na Sukia na. I know we have no documents for now. We say we no say this chief do they go well. They go peacefully. We no get no problem. We no get no problem. I know we have no meeting for say for sign for document for save this chief do. I will only talk to the people that they go like for let them left. This like you know they bring peace at the chief do. Well, the advice then for let all my if they can't go information so they can go correct information they can go. They no go like for what important not do. You go talk say for do what you want for do. For say this don't go sign this don't go. I know about that.
Then I Chief Michael, why contact a bank owner? Sir, I know we are sir. Really, I will interview and ask would I sign or forge me signature to any paper for sign say me aware. No, this chiefdom now we own chiefdom for a long time. I can't accept it. But if I tell you say me aware, I know aware from now till tomorrow I know aware.
I mean, achieve the third as in correct section. You don't know, but no documents. And I no go with nobody per agreement for signed document for any different thing. In section chief and anyone we are the talk under me on boss when I'm in section my paramount chief. When paramount chief no give me no instruction, I no get no instruction for talk anything with me no. If any prove that they let them pull on a do. I no get picture, I no get sign to nobody, and even me communication, me contact. Let anybody talk say it's having me number. Now so I be meet here. Now I'm a committed chief no. We don't know about that. We now 1 crown will get. Boom, man, come about. Region chief, they go only to section chief. When chief pass away, now that will get. Now that me know. So, but I don't get no other option. We for say we don't get another chief or they select another chief for the bite chief. Don't know. Even the section, if we not meet inside the CBI section first for the bite section. I know what about chief don't now.
Then people there end up say they're not aware of any document where they sign say they want for separate Briwa chiefdom as they say now forge their signature for radio democracy. Mange Mansai, the report.
They come over to you, Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs. You definitely don't listen to the clip of a serious concern within a Briwa chiefdom. Also, people raise issues we get for the forge signature issues of say they were divided chiefdom and they're not aware in the part of them. As a minister, we get key responsibility in the area. You go respond, please.
Thank you very much. I did read and talk about letter. Me no receive no letter.
Now we have none of this.
I know receive no letter. I've never read any letter to that effect. Otherwise, now something we don't try for deal with for let we address the issues that we then raise. But we're not get any letter from that for that effect. They say people then don't write to the Minister of Local Government for waiting stuff. So the issue of signatures or whatever, I can't qualify that in any way whatsoever. However, because they don't go do this now, somebody don't go in, and we know say people are agitating. It means some work needs to be done there, and we generally resolving conflicts in our communities in the part of our portfolio, and we believe say we'll get partners that we can work with. We go inside there. Fundamentally, when people then start for disagree like that, you will find out say there are other issues that we actually need to deal with, and we get partners that we can usually work with, where they will go in embed, and at least one of them partners and they really in a family talk. Maybe they need for talk some kind of family talk. Now the community who say they go come around the bonfire, let them express themselves as to what is actually not going right, and let them address the issues pertaining to that. But the issue of a letter, we don't come to me. I go for state very categorically. They read me basket all the time. The letters the way they come, no one know they pass me. I don't get that yet. I don't get that kind of letter yet.
Alright, as you don't confirm, say you not receive no letter. Quick one before we go over to John. Over the past year, you not done some of the issues there. Where we are in people want for divide the chiefdom.
There will be griping issues. Just like I say, there will be griping issues, and we largely will act on. Of course, there are capacity issues. So depending on which side we see, say the gripe on the increase and whatever, they will try to deal with them. But again, one thing we got to realize is that we're a very decentralized ministry as well. So for the chiefdom areas, we get the provincial office. We get the minister, the regional minister with the superintendent. So clearly, we get the regional minister north, where they look after Biriwa. And also, we get the provincial secretary, we get the district officer, then get the capacity for deal with the issues, and then before EV can at the ministry. Maybe not them right, so they down to them they first before ever in the escalator for come up to me. But what we get for say is that now that Mr. Abdul say there are griping issues there, then as a ministry, we get for engage the one the way they done at the north. Follow try for begin look at the issues then they.
Alright, continue for the way to inside the program. I come over now to you, John. You don't really concerned we come out from community people, wait up Nabriwa and other chiefdom them. From a civil society point of view, what you make up of some of the issues there?
first, there are then get some issues, then they will need some attention. That may pick out from the whole clip. And as the minister say, I think therefore try for send a team there for make them address the issue before they escalate. But this they also take me go back a little bit. In this chiefdom of about 300 villages, the sections they're all now sort of you get the Limbas, the Mandigos. So one thing we would try for advocate to the ministry is the need for make the village they able for manage their affairs. You go observe, say yes, it's good where the paramount chief they on top of situation and they talk eloquently, but with 300 villages, limited budget, it's difficult to make it really manage the whole chiefdom. I'm not going to go into that, but what we advocate to the minister is make the ministry consider the need for establish village councils there, so that each village go able to manage their affair. They not go just depend anything they send and go up. What we realize lately is you go to some communities, you get different facilities than they managed by different committees, and at the end of the day they not get a central body. You go to one village, you get the school and the SMC for the school, the facilities management committee for the hospital, a committee for the borehole. So at the end of the day, when the borehole and bog, maybe till like 200,000, they're not getting. So what we advocate to the ministry is if they set up the village councils, now the village they go hand over all properties then to, and are then primarily responsible for managing alongside the committees them. Because if they're able to manage their affairs, it will reduce the pressure from the section chief, and of course the paramount chief will get less pressure. And I think say with that, it will help for even connect the villages to the section, to the chiefdom, to the district, and ultimately to the president, and also the reverse. Because now talk of the big five. The big five game changers, like the minister say, for Feed Sierra Leone, Freetown not get side for plant. Sorry. We will come on our village now, we go talk about plants. We get big sizing. But we need to work together. So the government therefore find a way for make the Ministry of Agriculture make the communities them feel empowered, say them can farm beyond the normal just 1 acre for it. Who's kind of support there for them for make them able to produce enough food for not just the household but for the community and the nation as a whole. So I think, again, I go end by saying, look, the Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs, alongside the Ministry of Finance, now one of the most critical and most important ministry in this country. And in my own thought, I think say the reason why they add the community affairs, maybe now for combine the rural and urban. Because initially it was just rural development. So with community affairs, it don't expand now. But overall, if the minister can do a favor whilst a day in office, with the appeal to them, make a find ways for make we get the village councils in. Bokuting they go in the country, you go to the village, small thing they do. But if anything you can with, they just plan a free, but you take you go hand over, give them, and then in turn decide, it go a long way. So basically, now that me go say, bring one not to an isolated case. We'll get them kind of thing in different parts of the country, but some they suppress then challenge them. But if we get them kind of process here, so it not going ever happen again. And the paramount chiefs and the development partners go able to send development to the last village in the country.
All right. Apart from this issue, what really can happen for we get community people we can then achieve them for they reach to a situation wherein they say they want divide, let everybody they by himself.
Now politics, Papa. Now politics. In most cases, now maybe one party go and try for convince them, say you can get a better standing here. It's just about politics. And I make this PR system. Some of we happy because for now, we're not for talk nothing about politics. Stay 2028. It's all about development. But in the absence, some people still believe say we can talk politics today for the next 4 years. How long are we going to talk politics? We need to talk about development. And I make initially I'll be really happy for come here today for look at development. You know, so yes, this is not the start, but I go appeal to the Vice President, the CSO government dialogue. Let's look at the subject.
So, Mr. Koka, you think so if then community people are then different level of chiefdom, yeah, so don't they get a message of development? May let them know say we are far away from election done, we get another 5 years before get another election. You think so they go fend and safe na in kind situation, yeah?
The thing is, once they know say we'll not, for now it's all about development. They're not getting kind.
So if they don't get any kind talk or engagement and your consultation,
we'll not get to this point.
Okay.
I believe they will not get to this point because they're going to talk about how for make them farm big, how for plant more rice, how for plant when the upland farming season done, we'll go to swamp, we'll go to groundnut season. Now then say therefore they focus on talk to the minister and say, Minister of Local Government, they are talk to your colleague Minister of Agriculture, we need seeds and aya. Talk to the Minister of Gender Affairs, we need the GUI. The GUI Act then a free term. Bring the GUI Act to win a village. Make we understand, make we the woman and self no say we get we right them. Now that kind of conversation they I believe say we need in this country. But everything we are like we don't become intoxicated with politics.
Okay.
We need for detoxicate this country.
Well, then John Cocker from Farm Talk. Continue for do with we over to you, Minister of Local Government. Still on the different issues that we get for do with your ministry. We see this BNT government through your ministry give vehicle to Paramount Chiefdom, but will not be able to cover all the PC them. Why we see some get and some not get.
Right. His Excellency the President in wisdom, and rightfully so, we actually think say chiefdoms they need for get vehicles for let them be motorable, especially for meet them far to reach areas, and some of the priority demands then we will need motorability and then community then they. So in being actually make a policy statement say it would try as much as possible for like all 190 chiefdoms and get vehicles. So we don't get the first tranche of vehicles. The first tranche of vehicles consisting of 45 vehicles will distribute to Paramount Chiefdom, and the way we'll distribute them. Now for now, make sure say Bokucha mot no dey, but how the system will use. We actually use the Paramount Chiefdom structures, initial structures, the Council of Paramount Chiefs, the chairman and the secretary general, the region will give, the district they will give. They will come begin to consider how long people they don't take paramount chieftaincy. They will also think about women them and all that thing they inside there. That's what we take for distribute them vehicles then they. And I can for tell you say when they don't begin use them vehicles then they, and I did say the paramount chiefs they not monopolize them vehicle then they whether they not and me don't see whether they use them for communities them, for help communities for reach particular side and the way they need for go reach. So they're not they monopolize them more. Then actually they use them for the chiefdom, even though now then they keep them and for make sure say it continue for function. So that's a good thing. Well, I also want to come to what John mentioned earlier, but the use of the village development committees, the setting of that. I want for inform John say that a work in progress. We don't start them, we don't do experiment them. Government don't commit. For 2 years now, government don't commit to the program of the One Fambu project. The One Fambu project now a sort of infrastructure where they build around the villages. So they will set up their own village development committee, then set up them priorities, and elect their own people the way they want for them committee then they. And the thing John they ask for now is how we go harmonize and follow all the other ministries then realize say there is a structure we're responsible for development working directly with the chieftaincy council for development of that area rather than everybody they go appoint your own committee and all that. They water down the whole situation and it cause a lot of conflict in the local communities then they. So decide we done the work, we not don't cover our side yet, but we look for partnership. We go make the ministry get more capacity for let we spread out. Because if we say very successful, anybody who would take that inside and they would experiment, then here where they would then go there and they see and say very impressive, and the people then they embrace their own development at the village level, and from village to section, from section to the chiefdom itself, and then they feed into the council activities then in terms of identifying priorities in other areas, and also into the national development plan with regards to priorities.
Okay.
So clearly, I believe this is work in progress, but we need that muscle, and that muscle they will look for partnership. For let we try to move that go before. For let the ministry actually spread in tentacles all over this country for development.
Okay, continue for the with we. I think your ministry in one way people get plenty concern, but as we don't get plenty message on our Facebook page, and inside the poll will take some of them message there. This also I read from Abdul Rashid na Facebook page. They say, Mr. Minister, what are the hope of auxiliary staff who gave additional help and support to core staff in council, but yet still these auxiliary staff are facing a lot of challenges from their welfare, monthly salary, payment of NASIT and more.
This other one from Stephen Sano, he say local government is the best that has happened in Sierra Leone. Own source revenue not accountable. All council projects are donor funded.
This one from Abraham, now Facebook page, says, Mr. Minister, when are we going to have our elections in Kamara, Chiefdom, Donkono? Please, we need to have a representative.
This other one from Mystic Nadwazak, he say, Mr. Minister, good to hear from you. The people of Sandama Bolonton Chiefdom in Karine have for long stand with regard the paramount chieftaincy election. Please try and consider them this time around. Your ministry has put them on suspense for over years.
This one again, they say the welfare of challenges for auxiliary staff are almost across the 22 local councils in Sierra Leone.
This other one say, thanks very much, John. You need to go to Briwa Chiefdom to settle the issue between community people.
This other one here, they say
capacity, but then they're very, very, very low at this point. If you go to even the district councils, they are performing worse in their situations than they, because people are not willing to pay. So media appeal to Sierra Leoneans. Yes, it is one thing for us to say councils need to perform, but what are you doing in terms of your own responsibility for let you pay your taxes so that the councils then go able for function? So my appeal really is that the property tax, people then will say, hey, what you are going for pay money for me property tax for? Nobody not really want for pay tax. But the fact is that if you want the services to be delivered around the area, obviously money you get for pay some money for that. Kamara Chiefdom, of course, we don't now elect a region, appoint a region. The region not even sit on it. It is only when the region gets into position that we start the process of getting to chieftaincy, get the chieftaincy elections.
What about Sandama
Bolonto? Then we get case in a court. Court don't now pass verdict on that case there, so we will consider them very soon in terms of the chieftaincy election. Malal is the top on the agenda at this point for let we try for conduct the elections there. Somebody talks a lot about what happened when vice president go. The vice president, honorable vice president, is the chairman of interministerial committee for local governance. So that are the highest decision making body inside local governance. We involve representatives of the councils, but also all the devolved sector ministries, the ministers themselves, they are within there. During the time after elections, we will be the induct, then councillor them nationwide. We go all now different regions them. The honorable vice president will make a commitment, say he want to develop another model of how to actually engage and interface with the various councils. So last Friday we will get the first engagement with combined councils, both city council and also both district council, then come together, it meet with the leadership of the council, it meet with the leadership of the devolved sectors, and also meet with the councillors then of the two councils for let them actually discuss, for let them see what they go right in local governance, but also waiting at the challenges. So they're able to mention some of them challenges, and then one of the critical things that they actually raise about the welfare, mainly relating to the salaries. Councillors then they talk about the sitting fee. They say very, very abysmal at this point in time. Government need to consider that, and the core staff they actually say the money really very small. If you think about the chief administrator, now one big entity Let me remember, say, the Freetown City Council, in take-home salary probably not going to reach about 5 million. So that alone, it will demotivate somebody. So then the Axel government considered and they meet deal with them, or they try for appeal and see how far the Ministry of Finance will come. They'll try for address some of the issues that they are moving forward. But section chief elections, we don't say all the district officers, except where we find out say things do not happen, they're not ready yet. We say let them work with the paramount chiefs and let them try to conduct all sub chief elections in the locality so that we'll get the people then they not them place that they. Falaba and Karene, these were two new districts where the previous government may actually create. And from what don't come, we don't work with them councils then they, of course the councils are operational, the core staff then they the chairman and the councillors then they are all functioning. And luckily His Excellency the President will make a special appeal to the EU during that at the beginning of the last term for let them consider Falaba and Karine, for let them put small money there because EU bigger projects then are 4 councils development projects then. And please say EU be actually commit 1 million euro for projects that are then placed in there, and maybe don't go around and then place and then 2 district then they we don't try for open project then they from state of the art capacity hall we say people then go able for meet to wells, to feeder roads, to market centers,
what
and
about,
all that kind of thing.
What about Chiefdom? They say this issue only for a long time now, but up to now no intervention from the ministry.
Well, at the fees Bureau Chiefdom, it's not like nobody don't ever with itself. So what I say at the initial instance is that we're quite decentralized as a ministry, and we believe say the regional ministry, the regional arm of the ministry, they deal with the situation and but now they don't flag up, so we don't put them right up now to part of the priority for we try for deal with the conflict within America.
All right, over to you, John. You get some messages them. Somebody say if you get plan for going to that place, Briwa, for do investigation for no really what happen.
Yes, I just checked with me staff in the area. We confirm say yes. Now say we would work, but after here we will engage the minister and in team for see what he will do. My first recommendation, I forget a chiefdom consultation, and they will take it from there. But also, I just want to use this medium for appeal to the minister, for passing a message to the chairman for the interministerial committee, the honorable vice president. This engagement with the councils, they go find make it hard engaging with CSOs. When they go meet with them, they talk to the council, because you're not going to talk to a person about your problems only. Get a third party for make you able for use that for triangulate. A big word. So basically, we will let for see that. And lastly, the issue of revenue mobilization. This is now one thing we as Sierra Leoneans need for step up again, because they also get for do this Chieftaincy Act, the councils and the paramount chiefs. Because the role of the councils in supervising the paramount chiefs have been taken away. Now the DOD supervise the paramount chiefs then. So what we don't try for do few years back now for negotiate a joint revenue mobilization scheme whereby the paramount chiefs and they lead the process for make sure so they collect the taxes them and then go into some sharing mechanism. That may work very well in Moyamba and Kailau. So we hope say we can consider that approach, so that we go also know how we use the money. When you collect the money, also tell we how you use it. Right. That's not the challenge.
Alright, plenty thank you guys on joining inside the program this morning. Well, inside the program we get the Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs, Tambalamina, and Simoso we get John Kolka, the Executive Director for Fambul Talk. Plenty thank you on joining inside the program.
Thank you very much for having us. We're glad you're there.